Hi, welcome back to Ignite Success, where again, we've got some interesting people doing some interesting things right here in the city of Jacksonville. And today, I want to welcome back Troy Pepito.
Correct.
Of the April 1 Genuine Spirit Company. Well,
Correct.
Genuine Spirit Company is the corporate, and
Side,
April
correct.
1 is the brand.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yep.
what are we talking about?
The brand.
Bourbon.
The bourbon, yeah. So
Yeah.
April 1 Bourbon Whiskey. We launched it April 1st of this year. So it was a whole year in the making. I put pen to paper a year ago. Well, almost, yeah. And then just started putting out a plan and then kind of created the label, drinking lots of bourbon in the process.
Well, you have to make sure it's okay, right?
Correct. Yeah, you just got to make sure it's good. And
That's
then
right.
And then we came up with how to tell the April 1 story on the label. So we got an illustrator. I came across some characters that I was fond of, and I was like, let's put them in a uniform and help tell the April 1 story. So April 1 comes from Chief Petty Officers that they were established April 1st of 1893. So when I was in the Navy, I retired as a Chief Petty Officer. So that's kind of where the brand inspiration came from.
Oh, yeah, and I was going to ask you, I knew that there was a story behind April 1, and why did you launch April 1, and you have the April 1 brand.
Correct.
So explain the label.
So
that has a story.
Yeah, the label it's got the chief in uniform, and on the other side, they got the chiefs and goats. So back in the old sailing ship days, chiefs would mine, they called it the goat locker. So the goats were in there and they would make sure the food on the ships were good to go. So they were in charge of that stuff. And then, so that's kind of where the inspiration of the ram and the goat come from. So they call us the chief's mess, which is the goat locker and things like that. So it's all ties into the inspiration of creating the label, yeah.
Yeah, and so you sell online and you sell to like the military.
Correct. So online, yeah. So good news. We got good news this week. So we're in talks with the military exchanges right now. So hopefully good things will come out with that, and we'll roll out hopefully with them in the next couple months. So
well,
we'll
that's
see.
exciting.
Yeah. So online right now at
Congrats.
april1bourbon.com, and then now we're rolling out in brick and mortar with the military.
And what's the website again?
april1bourbon.com.
April 1 Bourbon. So, you know, we get to this point, we got a little bit of backstory. What made you get into this?
So I knew the Navy was going to end one day. So I was like, all right, whether I did 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, I was like, I need to start working on my transition. So I came up with a plan, what I want to do. My wife was like, you have too many hobbies. Pick a hobby. So I was a home brewer.
And drinking bourbon was one of them?
And drinking bourbon, I was a hobbyist, and making beer and then wine. So I got in and I started learning about that, teaching myself that process, and learned when I was in Sicily, met with a military buyer there and a winery, and kind of did some brokering and kind of got my foot in the door. And so we did good. They got on the stores, and I was like, well, I guess this is what I'm going to do. So I got into sales of this, and I actually, when I transitioned out, I got picked up by veteran-owned distillery Hotel Tango, and I worked with them for 4 years. So, and when I left with Tango, we parted ways, then I launched the brand.
Oh.
So it was all in the writing. There was always the idea, what if life after Hotel Tango looks like? And this is what it looks like.
The bourbon.
So that was my transition plan going away from them. So
once you get this all launched and it's so successful, you got another liquor or bourbon?
there works. We were talking about stuff. There's definitely innovation that's happening. We're just looking at the market trends and see what's going on, see which direction we want to go. But maybe a tequila.
Ooh.
So we're kind of putting some things on paper for that. So we'll see. Maybe next year. But right now the focus is our small batch bourbon.
Oh. Sounds like a plan,
Yeah.
you know, and you enjoy it, and let me ask, it tastes good.
It's delicious. So we are sourcing. I do not have a distillery. It comes from Bardstown, Kentucky.
Okay.
So it is Kentucky bourbon.
There.
And then maybe in the future I'll have a facility of my own. But right now it's white label, and we're making sure we put premium bourbon in there. So it's really good.
Oh, see, I take your word for it, Tori. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So one last time, give them your website if you want.
april1bourbon.com.
There you go. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for coming back. It's always a
I love
pleasure
it. Thank
having
you
you
so
on the
much.
show.
Yes, it was awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I wish you all the best, all the luck with your bourbon, and
Appreciate
you'll
it.
have to tell me how it goes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much
Okay.
for having me.
Thank you. So if you want to learn more about Troy Pepito, go to his website, april1bourbon.com,
Bourbon.com.
or you can go to iwantabuzz.com. And that's it for this segment, and I'll catch you in the next one. With Storehouse Media Group, we are an award-winning publisher, and we are everything books. We take an author who wants to write a book, whether it's with a concept and we help flesh it out and develop it, or we will write the book for them, or we edit the book, or we publish the book, and we can market it to bestseller. All of the above. We just everything books. That's what Storehouse Media Group is.